Man, before I move forward and open up this conversation, I want to take this moment to thank each and every last one of you who took the time out of your busy schedule to just stop and listen for a moment. I want to thank you. I honor your presence. I honor your intentionality. You could be anywhere. You can be doing any other thing, but you chose to stop, listen, and to show up for yourself. Yeah, to show up for yourself, for your growth, for your calling, for your purpose, for that potential that's on the inside of you. And maybe, just maybe, that whisper you've been hearing inside that says, there's more to me. There's more, there's greater. I know there's a room for me. There's a space. I was called to something higher. That whisper, that voice, right? I need you to understand that today is not just another motivational talk. We have plenty of videos out there that's trying to motivate you to a place. But this is a call. Yeah, this is a call. A call. This is a shift. In this moment is where I reveal and also share with you all a shifting code that can help you change your mind. Man, to unlock new heights, to unlock new spaces that you've never explored, right? We have the power to do that. We have the power to shift and change our mindset. And there's this concept, there's something called the neuroplasticity. And the ability, it talks about the ability, this concept is all about being able to change your mind, change your brain. And perhaps you're in a place where you feel like you can't change. It seems like every time you take steps forward, something is pushing you or pulling you back. This can be life, this can be adversities, challenges, external influences, societal expectations, societal norms. Either way, these things are holding you back. And also there's this inner dialogue that you're having within yourself to make you believe that you cannot change. I want to encourage you in this moment, and I'm gonna tell you that you can change. You can change your mindset. You can change your behavior. You can change and break cycles. You have to become intentional, and you're taking the first step, which is now you're here. The first step is showing up. The first step is acknowledging that, listen, I want to move forward. I have been hearing something deep calling me into a deep place, a higher place, a higher elevated place, right? This is that moment. This is that time. Perhaps you're in a place where you feel like your story and what you've gone through is wasted, right? I want to say in this moment that there will be no wasted experience. Everything you've gone through, everything you experienced in your life was only a stepping stone, was only fuel to help you get to the next place. Sometimes it's hard to find and discover the power and pull or extract the power of our story. It's because we're suppressing what we've gone through. We're trying to hide it. We're trying to hide the scars. We're trying to hide the brokenness. And I will say in this moment, I want to encourage you to lean into that brokenness. Yeah, lean into those scars, because I found out that when you lean into those broken spaces of your life, that's you're saying, I want to own my journey. I want to own my story and not my story own me. I'm not defined by where I've come from, but I am defined by the moment I make up in my mind that I want to change. I want to live in greatness. I want to become great. I want to elevate my mind. I want to change my thought process, my perspective, my perception. I want to change my behavior. A lot of times we allow the echoes of our stories and the echoes of our trauma to keep us in a stuck place. We start having those toxic dialogues within ourselves, those toxic negative self-talks that's keeping us in a place of stagnation. But yet there's something deeper, there's something resonating, there's something calling us to a higher place. What is that? Man, what is that? I come to find out that before you can move into purpose, You got to first understand who you are. Yeah. You got to understand your identity. You see, I was in a space where I tried to build this purpose based on my state of potential, but also the state of identity. In other words, who I chose to be in that moment. I thought that that was all there was. I thought the version of self that I embraced was all there was. Man. But I realized that the identity you choose today, when you embrace the journey of transformation, won't be the identity you choose tomorrow. In other words, who you are today, you begin to change your mindset, change your way of thinking. You become a new what? Person, a new individual. The Bible said a new creature, right? The old man, the old self has passed away. You have broken the old self. Therefore, I'm embracing something brand new. Let me caution you in this moment. There are folks around you that may not accept the new version of who you present. But this is a power of showing up for yourself, not in a selfish way, but you're showing up because you know that there's someone waiting for the healed version of self. There's someone waiting on the whole version of self. There's someone waiting for me to get out of the way so that truth can come forward, step forward. The true version can step forward. Yeah. I need you to understand, I want to talk about the power of your story and why it's very important that we don't suppress our experiences. We don't suppress those emotions. And what tends to happen when we don't lean into and lean into and embrace those shattered, emotionally shattered places, what tends to happen is we start living our life through our emotions, those broken spaces. Man, you start to believe that you are that broken space. You start to believe that you are your past. You start to believe that you are your traumas. You start to believe that you are the dysfunctional in a dysfunction that you was brought up in. The truth is, you might not have had any control or say so of what you've gone through, but you have a voice today to say that I'm not my past. You have the voice and the power to pull yourself from the grips and the snares of yesterday's traumas and yesterday's brokenness. You have that power to do so today, man. Then this is what shifting the code is all about, shifting your mindset so you can live a purpose-centered life. So you can shift and change everything. Let me tell you this in this moment. Your story is not a liability. It's not. Your story is actually a strategy. And I really believe what the enemy tries to do is he tries to get you to cover your story, cover your scars, cover those broken spaces, because if I can hide it, if it's not revealed, I won't have to heal, right? If I don't show it or expose it, one thing about light, right? One thing about light exposes those dark spaces, those broken, damp spaces, right? Light exposes that, and the light is the truth. Let's be truthful. Let's be honest with ourselves. The truth is, man, I don't know if I'm deserving of change. I don't know if I have the mindset to shift. I don't know if I can change, right? I don't know if I have the ability to shift from this place, this current state of mind, into a mind that says, yes, I can become all and everything I've dreamed and imagined of being. The mindset that says, greater is he that is within me than he that is in the world. That type of mindset is a high level of thinking, right? You start to elevate your mind to heights. You start to elevate your mind, and watch this. You're no longer entangled with the affairs of this world. I remember about a year ago, I hosted a conference called Revolt to Our Image Con. And the direction, the perspective I came from. Image represents is perspective, is mindset, is mind state. It's everything we think we are and also how we understand the world to be. But get this, when it comes to when you revolting against the world's image and the world's standards, you're saying, I no longer want the mindset that the world imposed on me. Man, I no longer want the world view that societal norms and societal expectations put on me. I don't want the suggestions. I don't want the opinions of others to drive my life. Instead, I want to live a life that I was called to live. I want to be who I was called to be and created to be in the image of God, right? Man, so we revolt our image. But here's the thing, man. A lot of times we find ourselves creating an image based on our past experiences. We create this persona, and sometimes, in many cases, when you don't surrender those broken spaces to God, you don't surrender that to the Creator, that's when you begin to make an image out of your brokenness. You begin to make an image out of your traumas. You begin to make an image out of your emotions, and you become that image. You start living through that image. So when we say revolt world image, we're now challenging every space, every part of us. I'm talking about those deep spaces, all the way down to the soul, our will and our emotions, our mind. We're challenging every space. Here's the thing, you cannot heal what you don't reveal. That is truth. What you don't invite truth into, the light into, you won't heal from those spaces. So now our story becomes our narrative. Instead of pulling the power from our story that causes others around us to overcome their struggles, their adversities, their challenges, we choose to sit quiet. Man, we choose to stay silent because we're concerned, we're afraid of what others are going to think of us. I've placed this persona, this image on social media. What if I open my mouth and start sharing what I've gone through? What if I open my mouth and start sharing my adversities, my challenges, the problems, the big pains that I've experienced in my life? What if? Do you know the power that's on your story? The anointing that's on your story? Do you know what can happen if your story, if that power reached someone that's on their last leg, someone that's at their last end, someone that's buried alive, waiting on you? Do you know what your story, the power it can do? So your story is not a liability. You're not who they say you are. You're not what your trauma is trying to persuade you to be. You're not what the toxic thinking and negative to self-talk. No, that the dialogues you're having within yourself, but you're greater than that. You was called to a place, a higher place, an elevated place, elevated thoughts, right? Intentional thinking. Now, there's a strategy. There's a strategy that how we can use a story, because the truth is the enemy tries to use our past all the time. If the enemy can use our past to distract us from our future, that means we can actually pull power from our past to help us create a future that we've always wanted and desired to live. Man, that's powerful on so many levels. The truth is we often feel that we need to hide our message. We need to hide the messy parts of our life, the broken pieces, the failures, the failed chapters of our life. But let me help you in this moment. What broke you is going to be used to help build someone else. Yeah. It's going to be used to build someone else. I used to believe that I needed to be perfect or polished in order to lead others. Man, I wasted a lot of times trying to put myself together, trying to put the broken pieces together. I wasted so much time trying to create this persona, this image, and present that to the world. I will never forget when I pushed Image Conference, Mr. Image. Man, I remember I had this very intense prophetic dream where Holy Spirit told me, listen, you do Awake well, you do Image well, but I need you to come from an elevated place, a thought-seeking place. I want you to use your intellect. And that's when I realized that I was no longer thinking. I wasn't thinking. I wasn't using my mind, but I was depending on something that was easy for me. It's easy for me to tap into the spiritual and rely on Holy Spirit, absent of mind. And I realized in that moment when I woke up that I've never really went and traveled into the deep of the unconscious, right? I never traveled and explored. I never really understood just how high, how far I could go if I understand my mindset. First, understand the state of mind so that I can understand and recognize the state of being. When I realized the state of mind I was in, oh man, it changed everything. Now I come into an awareness. And I believe the greatest thing the enemy fight, the weapon he uses, the tactic, the strategy he used, he fights against your awareness. When you're not aware, guess what? You're lost. You find yourself walking around in circles, roaming in circles. There's no clarity. You're living in uncertainty. Now you find yourself walking in anxiety, depression, and those things that's come to plague your mind and keep you in a place of stuck. I realized that when it comes to mindset and when it comes to shifting my mind and shifting the code of my mind, I learned that transformation doesn't come from perfection, but it comes from intentionality. It comes from a changed perspective. It comes from a changed heart, man. And it also comes from a changed position, a positioning of your mind. I want to share this in this moment, my time of serving in the Navy. And I remember I shared this before on my social media channel, how I felt my identity serving. I felt my identity serving others. I felt my identity in my career, in my job. But who am I once I take off the uniform? Who am I? Once I lay down the rank, lay down the uniform, take off the boots, who am I? Who is Sam? Man, I serve my country with pride. I had the opportunity to travel the world, play basketball while in the Navy. And it was a really exciting time for me. I'm not gonna lie. Had a great time, met a lot of amazing people, great people. But when I transitioned from the military, I found myself in a dark space, a dark place, a state of depression, a state of anxiety. I found myself homeless. I'm telling you, my transition was difficult. It was challenging. Homeless, sleeping in my truck, taking showers in the gym because I had nowhere to go. Man. Truthfully, I thought that was the end. I thought that would be my life. I thought in that moment, you gotta understand, like anytime you find yourself in those dark spaces where it seems like there's no light, there's no end to the tunnel, you start asking yourself, why am I here? What am I doing here? And before you come to your senses, before you come to yourself, and you remember, I'm telling you, the enemy fights your memory. The greatest war is on the mind. The greatest war is on the mind, and enemy attacks our memory. If he can cause you to forget the goodness of God, if he can cause you to forget all those times that God sustained and he brought you through some of the messiest situations, some of the most challenging situations, some of the most challenges, the adversities that you've experienced, if he can get you to forget, now he has you in a crippled place. He has you in a place where you feel like you're going to die. Man, you feel like you're going to die. When I found myself in this dark place, this unfamiliar place, this was new. This was brand new for me. I never experienced this before. And at that moment, it was nothing I could do. What I thought, well, so I thought. I thought in that moment it was nothing I could do. But I had to come to that realization. I had to come to that truth, that knowing that I am fearfully and wonderfully made, yes, but also there's greater on the inside of me. I am purposed. There's potential. There's so much on the inside of me, but how do I get to that place? I share in my book, Potential to Purpose, that it's not enough for folks around you to tell you how great you are, how powerful you are, how anointed you are, how dope you are, how much potential, how much purpose you have. It's not enough. You have to actually believe it. You have to believe it. You have to shift and change. And once you fall into this new form belief, now you have to reinforce that belief with faith. You have to reinforce that belief with words. You got to start speaking with visualization. Start seeing yourself in a place greater than where you are, greater than your current state of mind. But the truth is, when I was in that state of depression, the state of anxiety, there was so much shame. Man, not Sam, not Mr. All-Navy basketball, not the college basketball player, not Sam, not the musician, not the guy, not our friend, not Sam who plays the keyboard every Sunday. It can't be him. Sam looks sure. Sam look, he appeared that he's walking in his confidence and he's walking in this identity. He know who he is, like not Sam. Truth is, it was shame. I started feeling so much shame. But in addition to shame, I also felt disconnected. That there's no greater feeling than to be in a space surrounded by people, but still feel disconnected. There's no greater feeling to be in a space where you feel like the space is for you, the room is for you, but you still feel out of place. Man, there's no greater feeling. The truth is, in that moment, everything that I identified with, the routines, the title, the role, it seemed like it was all snatched away. Now I found myself going through an identity crisis. Who am I? What am I? What was our purpose to be? What was our purpose to do on this earth? Man, what was our purpose to be and do on this earth? Let me ask you this. Have you ever had to fight a battle that no one sees? Yet like this invisible battle where it seems like you're in a fight by yourself and you're in a fight of your life. Man, you're hoping someone sees you. And you're surrounded by seers, right? You're surrounded by prophetic sight. But yet it seems like no one sees you. What is that? What do you do? How do you navigate that? How do you navigate those moments? The truth is, I found myself dressing up in public. I'll show up. Like, you'll catch me in a suit, a tie, maybe a bow tie, whatever the case is. But I never, and my wife would tell you, I never looked like my circumstance. I never looked like I was going through anything. Here's the problem with that. Here's where I also encourage you all to look into and lean into and pay attention. Some of your strongest soldiers that appear to be strong are some of the ones that's going through the toughest battles. Yeah. I'm talking about the ones that show up on Sundays, the one that shows up on a job. I'm talking about your managers, your supervisors, your directors, your CEOs. They show up as Superman, Superwoman, and appear as if all is good. Nothing is going on. These are the ones you want to lean into and ask, how are you? How are you feeling? What's on your mind? How can I pray for you? Right? You never know what someone can be going through, what someone can be battling in a moment. Regardless, The truth is, Superman bleeds as well. Yeah, Superman bleeds. So yeah, I found myself in this silent battle, showing up for others, pursuing what I thought was purpose, just to find myself hitting this wall. And when I ran into this wall, it put me back into that place of when me and my brothers, we were traveling. We was traveling one evening. My brother had just gotten back from deployment, and we were excited. It was me and three of my brothers. So he's driving, I'm in the passenger side, and two of my brothers in the back seat. And as we're traveling down 64, there was a car that cut in front of us. We're in the bottom lane. A car cuts in front of us, and without thinking, my younger brother turns the wheel to avoid this car. And when he turned the wheel, there was a 18-wheeler right there, a tractor trailer right there, and ran right into us. Right now, in that moment when the impact happened, our car started to spin at least 5-6 times, if that, and it was stopped by the median. We ran right into the median. And I need you to know in this moment that all of us walked away without a scratch. Yeah, without a scratch, with no hurt, no broken bones, no blood, and nothing. Now, when the emergency rescues got out there, the guy kept saying, "Man, y'all are lucky. Y'all are lucky. It's not every day that we're in a Grand Am. It's not every day that a car wins a battle with a 18-wheeler. You don't see this every day." And the only thing I can tell this guy was, thank God. It's all God. Like, God is good. That's God is good. That's the only thing I could say. But he said, it's not every day that this little car wins a battle with this big truck. And in this moment, I don't know what you're facing in your life and the circumstance, the trial you're going through, the challenge you're in now, it appears big. And somehow I found out that the enemy has a way of magnifying what you're in. But when you start to change your perspective, when you start to elevate yourself above the storm, elevate yourself above what you're going through, elevate yourself above the challenges, you start to see, wait a minute, I was built to go through it, not succumb to it. I was built to run through challenges. I was built to face it head on, not run. What I love about challenges, and I found this out, challenges, it reveals parts of you either suppress or didn't know it was there. It reveals you. Challenges you face in your life becomes a mirror. The truth is, and I talk about this a lot, when a storm hits your life, the storm is not coming to your life to introduce itself to you as a storm. The storm knows it's a storm, right? So the storm that you face in your life is designed to show you. It's a reflection, it's a mirror. The question is, how do you respond? The way you respond to a challenge, the way you respond to circumstances that hit your life, storms that hit your life, tells you everything about you, concerning you, your state of mind, your state of being, your state of potential, your state of focus, your state of shifting. Like, it tells you your mindset, your mental readiness. Are you even ready to grow and mature? Man. And I encourage you to lean into the storm, similar to an eagle. When there's a storm, instead of eagles flying away, going the opposite direction, I realized or found out that eagles fly towards storms. They use storms to gain altitude and also to fly higher and further. So I challenge you to, if you want to fly higher, if you want to go further, go through the storm so you can rise above it. All right? I challenge you. So with everything that's going on, everything that was going on in my life, from the transition from the military, from the car accident we're involved in this tractor trailer 18-wheeler accident, it taught me so much, man. It taught me so much. I realized that no matter what impact happens in your life, what challenge hits your life with full force, there's always this seed of purpose that God is protecting. The truth is, me and my brothers, we were able to walk away from this car accident, this tractor trailer 18-wheeler accident. I want to encourage you in this moment that your purpose will walk, right? Your purpose will be able to walk. There will be no bruise to your purpose. There will be no destruction to your purpose. There will be no abandonment to your purpose. You will be able to walk and soar, move and soar in purpose. Man, the seed of purpose is being protected even now. The seed that was planted on the inside of you before you was brought into this world, before you was brought and birthed into this world, there was a seed planted on the inside of you. That's that call. That is what the Creator, God, is trying to get you to lean into, listen for. Now you ask, like, help me to become more mature. Help me to grow in my faith. Help me to really believe that I am greater than where I am. Help me to truly adopt this belief, this knowing that there's greatness, this knowing that I am purpose, this knowing that there is someone on the other side waiting on me. Help me to adopt and reframe and restructure my mind, fortify my mindset. Man, fortify my mindset. Help me to make the right decision. Help me to make the decisions that's going to help shift and change the trajectory of my life. Help me to make that decision. Give me the mental strength, the mental resilience to help me make this decision. I remember when I walked away from my job, making $83,000 a year. This is around 2018. There was so much I was feeling, so many emotions, and it's also so much fear. Man, I had so much fear, especially because, with 4 kids and, my wife, I have responsibility as a man, as the covering of my house. I have so many responsibilities. Now, the disclaimer I like to make, I'm not telling anybody to put in your 2-week notice and leave your job. That's not the case. But I want to share with you my journey of how did I get to this place of my life? How did I get to this state of mind? I remember having this very intentional dream, prophetic dream of me wrestling and fighting, trying to hold on to what I felt my identity in, which was my job and also music at the time. You see, with my job, that I leaned into that, man, because there was so much affirmation. I felt validated on my job. Then also in music, I felt validated. I felt my identity in validation. I felt my identity in the affirmation, the ability to sit behind the keyboard and help shift an atmosphere. And then you actually see this instant gratification or instant validation of folks getting what they need. Now, if you look at it, you say, well, there's no harm to that. You're just helping someone get to a place. You're helping someone with their mindset or gain more spiritual insight, get to a higher spiritual place. It sounds dope and amazing. But for me, I found myself really embracing the affirmation. And that affirmation, I started to create an identity around music, around the congratulations, around the good job, around the bro, you really played today, right? That's what I was starting to do. So I had this dream where I'm wrestling, I'm fighting against trying to hold on to my job, hold on to this music. And then found myself in the dream in a coma. When I woke up, when I came out of this coma, that's when I saw my limbs and everything coming back together. My bones were now metal, and I felt indestructible. I need you to understand in this moment that anytime you're going through a process of metamorphosis or a process of transformation, it's not to kill you, it's not to destroy you, but it is to break you so that you can be broken into someone new. What I love about being broken in the hands of the Creator, He also have the opportunity to build us back together. Man, build us back together. So while I'm broken, while things have taken away from me, are being taken away from me, now He's restructuring my mind. He's fortifying me. He's helping my faith is being strengthened, is being built. And now there's this confidence. Now I feel like I'm walking in purpose. I no longer have to lean on this manufactured purpose created by a persona of self. I no longer have to create this purpose created by a persona of self. A persona of self. When it comes to fear, I want to hit on fear in this moment. I remember when I put in I typed up my 2-week notice. I sat on it for a week because I was afraid. I remember sitting on the job, and while I'm on this job, I had this open vision. I had this open vision where I saw myself walking on this road alone. And as I'm walking, all of a sudden the road turns into water. I found myself walking in water, and now I look around, and guess what? I'm surrounded by water. As I continue to walk, heading towards a destination, I end up stopping because now fear grips me. Now fear cripples me, and now I'm too afraid, and now I'm sinking. Because of fear, now I come out of this trance or this open vision. My heart is beating fast, and now I'm looking around trying to see what is going on. In that moment, that's when God revealed to me that there are underlying fear. There's something there, whether it's the fear of rejection, fear of failure. There's something there keeping you from making the hard decision, the life-changing decision, the decision that's going to help you, that's going to actually catapult you into higher realms and higher places, right? There was fear that gripped my heart. In that moment, I realized, me sitting on my 2-week notice, I had to do what I had to do. I had to, because my life depended on it. My family's success, my success, someone's life, someone else's life depended on it. Why? Because there's someone buried alive, waiting on us to fully become, waiting on the healed version of self to show up. Scars and all, show up. Man, but before you try to show up for others, make sure you show up for yourself. There's nothing worse than someone who's broken trying to heal someone else who's broken. There's nothing more frustrating than someone who's crippled trying to help pull someone out of a pit of darkness, right? Heal thyself. Focus on your own journey and watch as you're healing, you're going to start to shift and change others around you, change their perspective. You start to inspire generations, inspire nations, inspire folks that really wants to change, really wants to elevate to a higher, elevated thinking, higher level of thinking. I remember when the thought-seeking model first came to me. And so in psychology, there's something called the thought model where they focus on thoughts. There are 5 key components. They focus on thought, helping you change false to right thoughts that aligns with belief, right? So they start with thoughts, and then from thought move to feelings and emotions, understanding your feelings and emotion. From feelings and emotions, you get into action, taking action that reinforces your newfound thoughts, your more intentional thinking. From action, you move into reinforcing the action, your emotions, and also your thoughts. And then from reinforcing, you move into belief, where you're restructuring, reforming your belief. And I asked myself, and I started really researching, studying on the process, that the distance between belief and thoughts, right? How do you bridge that gap? How do you connect those two? How do you close the proximity between thought and belief? But I ended up posing another question. And the question was, what if you have individuals who believe they can't change their thoughts, right? So there is no longer So now we got to focus on prioritizing the process. How about we focus on helping someone change their belief? Man, if you believe that you can change your thoughts, if you believe you're not deserving of change, you're not deserving to be someone greater than what you are, that's a belief issue. That's a belief problem. So with the thought-seeking model, TSM, we focus on belief because if we can help you reframe your belief, now we can move you through the process of change and really aligning and closing that proximity, that gap between belief and thoughts. So from belief, we move into reinforcing that belief by way of affirmation or visualization. You're now seeing yourself in this new place, this higher place. You see yourself actually walking in purpose, but also you're reinforcing that new form and restructured belief. From belief, now it's time to take action. Now I got to put goals in place. I got to put tasks. I got to actually start pursuing purpose with intentions. And then from action, we move into emotions. Now we get into more emotional intelligence, emotional regulation, understanding our emotions. Something I found out with emotions concerning me is I used to believe that emotional intelligence, when I first started hearing this word circulating, I thought it was all about embracing and suppressing and just guarding your emotion. What set me free was this idea of that, this newfound idea of that emotional intelligence is actually about sharing your emotions. And similar to a pressure cooker, if you bottle up your emotion, if you suppress your emotion intentionally, and eventually you're going to explode, right? So I would rather share. I would rather find the space of vulnerability. Once I find that space of vulnerability, now you're now operating in and you're leaning more towards emotional intelligence, where you're not just conscious and aware of your emotions, but the emotions of others. So from feelings and emotions, now I move to thoughts. Now let's see, can we structure new thoughts? Can we now process out? Can we remove toxic thinking? And now can we foster more thinking, more positive thinking that supports this new form and newfound belief about yourself, your self-image, your self-worth, your self-value? Man, that's powerful. So I would challenge you in this moment to, even after this video, I really want you to explore this mindset audit that we have with Elevated Thoughts Academy. I want you to click the link, visit the website. I want you to download this mindset assessment. And what's going to happen is this mindset assessment help you understand where you are in your mind state, and also with your mindset, whether it challenges and also assess your mental readiness. Ask questions about how ready are you to really move and soar in purpose. Also, it challenges your fixed mindset that leads to a growth mindset. You determine if you have a fixed mindset and also explore ways to move from fixed to growth, ultimately leading into a kinetic mindset. That's what we're going to do. We understand that with a kinetic mindset, it doesn't matter what's going on externally. You're only focused on internal, that kinetic that acts upon your potential. We use this analogy a lot. Newton's first law: an object that is in motion or uniform rest will remain in that state or condition until compelled to change its state by an external force. In this sense, what we do, we apply this force called kinetic mindset to your potential so that you can move and soar in purpose. So that you can create this kinetic energy, man, so that you can now soar. I do encourage you to take this mindset audit. It's only available to you, to those who want to explore how to move from a place of stagnation, a place of stuck, and into a place of higher level thinking. So I ask the question in this moment: what beliefs are limiting you? What beliefs are limiting your forward movement? Is it because you feel you're not ready? Is it because you feel that you're too broken to move and soar, or you're too much in a damaged state to move and soar in purpose? Do you feel like it's too late? I'm too old? What I love about the mindset audit and this mindset assessment, it helps you change those self-limiting beliefs and the toxic thinking to more positive thinking. Now you begin to say, I am prepared. I was called to this. I am purpose to accomplish. I am purpose. I do have the power to shift and change my mindset, but you have to believe it. I said it before. It's not enough for folks around you, those around you, to tell you how great you are, how powerful you are, how dope, how anointed you are. If you don't believe it, it remains in the potential state. And you'll never know how far you can go, how high you can fly if you don't believe. If you don't believe. So we're challenging those self-limiting beliefs. I am called to this. I am purpose for this. I have what it takes. I do have the confidence. Man, I'm not perfect, but I know if I start, I am being perfected, right? The power of the start. I know you may be in a space where you're like, man, I don't know where to begin. I have so many ideals. I have visions. I have dreams. I have these business ideas. I feel like I'm an entrepreneur. I feel like I'm a business owner, or I belong in an executive role, like whatever it is. I want to say in this moment, if you know it's there, now it's time to start leaning into that power, leaning into that strength, leaning into that knowing. If you feel that it's there, now it's time to embrace that inner power, that fire of burden, right? There's something calling you deeper. There's something calling you to a higher place, a higher level of thinking. And in order to get there, we come into an awareness. The first step is awareness, knowing like, wait a minute. I know there's more. I know I can hear that there's more. I'm having these reoccurring dreams of more. Now let's embrace those spaces. Where do I go from here? Where do I go from here? This is one of the reasons I created Elevated Thoughts Academy. Elevated Thoughts Academy is a mindset platform, is a mindset movement that helps individuals move from potential to purpose through mindset elevation. Ultimately, what we want to do, we want to help you move from this place of uncertainty, from a place of just potential, into a place where you're soaring in purpose, where you're embracing higher level thinking, so that you can live the life you always desire and imagine living, right? Elevated Thoughts Academy is not just another programming, but it is a movement. It's a mindset movement. And I promise you, this movement is about to impact the world. This movement is about to really catch fire. Why? Because we're being intentional about our thinking. We understand the power of potential. We understand that we can change our mind. We understand we can create a new thought process or construct. We can change because we choose the power of choice. All right, man, the power of choice. This platform is designed to elevate your thinking. It's designed to reconnect you to the purpose, that seed of purpose that's on the inside of you. Also breaking limiting beliefs. Build from the inside out. Instead of building this persona, building this image and pushing that out to the masses, whether it's social media, you want to build this image from the inside out. Whatever you see now, once you engage with Elevated Thoughts Academy, there's tools, resources, processes, systems. Once you start frameworks, once you start engaging, you start to say, wait, now I understand it now. Building, growing, maturing, healing from the inside out. Now whenever I show up for people, I'm now presenting a new version of self. I'm now presenting a healed version, a whole version, someone who understands mindset, someone who understands that I won't be controlled, someone who understands I won't be manipulated, I won't allow external factors, suggestions, the opinions, world's view to disrupt and cause me not to move with intensity, with intention, with focus, but in purpose. So what I want to do in this moment, I really want to invite each and every last one of you to join the Founders Cohort. This is a 6-week intensive. This is a 6-week framework where I walk through every process. I walk through mindset elevation, helping you understand how to build and create goals, purpose-centric goals. that is aligned with that seed of purpose, that fire of burden, help you understand how to gain and be more confident in pursuing your goals, help you to break from self-limiting beliefs, also embrace purpose, building from the inside out. If you're ready to build, if you're ready to grow, if you're ready to start your business, become this entrepreneur you see yourself being, this leader you see yourself walking in, this powerful leadership, I'm telling you now, I need you to join the Founders Cohort. This is going to be a powerful moment, 6 weeks of intentional focus, and we're going to all grow together. What I love about Elevated Thoughts Academy, as the founder, as I continue to pour into others, I find myself growing as well. I discover things about myself I didn't know. So I'm excited to partner with you in your journey. I'm excited to partner with you in your journey of becoming, because guess what? As you're becoming, we're all becoming. As you're becoming, I'm becoming. All right. So do me a favor. I need you to click the link attached to this course, attached to this webinar, and let's really embrace the process of transformation. Let's move and soar in purpose. Let's elevate our thoughts so that we can elevate our life. All right. I will see you in the cohort. Let's go. Potential to purpose. The journey continues. We're still out here.